Good afternoon. This is Sean McKean, and this is the DU Weekly Roundup. The women's rowing team finished their fall season off with a success in Philadelphia last weekend. The team brought 4 8-person boats onto the water during the Squeakle Invitational. Out of the 4 boats, 2 of Duquesne's teams placed in the top 10 finishers, something that hasn't happened on this specific course since 2016. The rowing team will be back to training this winter to prepare for their official championship season in the spring. Way to go, ladies. Now over to Matthew with sports.
Thank you, Sean. This past week in Duquesne sports, the women's soccer team lost to St. Louis 5-0 in the semifinals of the Atlantic 10 Championship. The Dukes finished the season with an 8-8-4 record, the highest win total since 2017. It was the second straight conference playoff appearance for the Dukes, the first time since 2017, and the third ever semifinal appearance in program history. Tonight at 7 p.m., the 5th-seeded Duquesne University men's soccer team is riding a 2-game win streak into the postseason and will take on the 4th-seeded Davidson Wildcats in the quarterfinal of the Atlantic 10 Championship Tournament. Duquesne is competing in its 3rd straight Atlantic 10 tournament and is looking to take it all the way. In other sports news, the Duquesne University volleyball team begins its 4th game homestand to finish the regular season with 2 matches against George Mason this weekend inside the UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse. The Duquesne University football team heads to Wagner this Saturday, looking to get off its best start as a Northeast Conference member. Coming to this game with a 3-game win streak, the Dukes seek to finally build off this momentum. Finally, the basketball season for both the men and women's team opens up this Monday, November 6th. The women head to Princeton and the men take on Cleveland State at home. Both teams have high aspirations and are looking to have successful seasons. Now over to Brentero.
Thank you, Matthew. In opinions this week, staff writer Max Marcello argued for the removal of paywalls in the world of academics. Whether it's a 2-page paper or a master's dissertation or a secondary research, should be available to anyone interested in adding to their knowledge. By making information more available and accessible, all Americans, regardless of education levels, can finally immerse themselves and benefit from the knowledge that has been produced from the coffers we all pay into, he says. Now over to Kaylin with arts and entertainment.
Thank you, Brentero. Zach Petroff brought history to the Duke this week with his exploration of Carnegie Science Center's newest temporary exhibit, Titanic the Artifact Exhibition. Allows visitors to experience what living in first-class luxury and facing the iceberg might have been like with a number of recovered artifacts that were on display. For fans of tragedy and of the James Cameron 1997 blockbuster, the Titanic exhibit offers interesting spectacles for all. Now over to Sean.
Duquesne will be hosting a tech ethics symposium on the 9th and 10th of November, talking about artificial intelligence. At this event, students and faculty will learn more about the ethics behind AI effects on healthcare and education, and how they are changing the world.
Duquesne's Title IX Sexual Misconduct Prevention Office hosted an artistic event called Chalk It Up to show support for survivors and spread awareness of domestic violence. Title IX encouraged students to write positive and uplifting messages all throughout the walls outside the Student Union building.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's Duke Weekly Roundup, and see you next week.